Let's now cross live to the National Assembly complex in Abuja, where the Minister of Works is defending the ministry's 2026 budget proposal before lawmakers. Now, the session is expected to focus on key infrastructure priorities, ongoing road projects, and funding allocations for major federal works across the country. Let's listen in.
Good afternoon, Chairman and other distinguished members of the Senate, all the protocol duly observed. My name is Engineer Basi Ekong, Federal Minister of Works. I'm a Director of Highways, Construction and Rehabilitation.
Good afternoon, Chairman, distinguished members of the Senate, honorable members of the House. My name is Engineer Clement Ubuagu, Director of Highways Planning and Development.
Good afternoon, distinguished Senator and House of Rep member. My name is Engineer Musa Saidu. I'm the Director in charge of Highway, Bridges and Design, Federal Minister of Works. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, distinguished Chairman, distinguished members, honorable members. My name is Adela Narafiu Olarinri. I am the Permanent Secretary. Thank you, sir.
Dear Chairman, distinguished senators, honorable members, I'm Engineer Dave Umahi, Honorable Minister of Works. Thank you.
Distinguished Chairman, distinguished senators, honorable members of the House of Reps, I'm Bello Muhammad Goreng Esquire, Honorable Minister of State for Works.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, distinguished senators and House of Rep members. My name is Barrister Chioma Nweze. I'm the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement for Southeast. I'm with my colleagues from North Central and South South. Thank you.
Can you show your faces? And Director of Procurement, come here and introduce yourselves. And the DFA.
Good afternoon, distinguished senators, honorable members. My name is Mohamed Aminu Ahmed, Director of Finance and Account. Thank you.
Distinguished Chairman and the honorable members, my name is Dauda Ismail, Director of Public Procurement. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished Chairman and senators. I'm Dr. Abiodun Esiet, the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. President on Community Engagement for the North Central region.
Good afternoon, distinguished members. My name is Giv Jombul, and I'm the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement for the South-South region of Nigeria. Thank you.
Chairman, can you kindly open the mic? Okay. I think we have introduction from the House members now.
Thank you to our visitors. So on the left-hand side of the aisle, we've got honorable members of the House of Representatives. So I'd like to start from further down for some introductions. Please make it quick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the co-chairman, distinguished senators, and my dear colleagues. My name is Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Abia State. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished senators and House of Rep members, my colleagues, our invited guests, Honorable Mansour Musa, my name. I'm representing the entire people of Aleru, Gondu, and Jega. I am from Kebbi State, the land of equity. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, co-chairman, distinguished deputy chairman, distinguished colleagues, our invited guests, I'm Honorable Dr. Muhammad Mukhtar Zandan Kazauri, member representing Kazauri, Roni, Gwiwa, Enkwashi Federal Constituency. I'm from Jigawa State. Thank you.
Co-chairman,
Our guest, I am Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide. I represent Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency of Oyo State.
The chair, co-chair, distinguished members, honorable colleagues, invited guests, my name is Honorable Yusuf Umar Deti, member representing the good people of Kura, Madobi, and Garimala constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Co-chair, distinguished senators, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Dr. Abdulmaruf Adewale Adebayo. I speak for the good people of Erekwadun Rolu Olorunda, Oshogbo Federal Constituency. I'm from the state of the dancing governor, the most performing governor in Nigeria, and we are moving ahead accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good, Chairman. I want to stand on the protocol that have been established to save time. Mohammed Omar Biya is my name. I speak for the people that are recently murdered, Barutin and Kayama, Federal Constituency. I'm from Kwara State.
Co-chairman, distinguished senators, honorable colleagues, honorable minister and his team, I remain Fatou Baolushola. I represent the entire people of Ado Ekiti, Irepodu Ifelodu Federal Constituency. I'm from Ekiti State. Thank you.
Chairman, distinguished senator, honorable members, my name is Prince Hakim Adeyemi, Oyo Federal Constituency, Oyo State.
Mr. Chair, Co-Chair, the deputies, and the distinguished senators, my respected colleagues, honorable ministers, Engineer Shehud Alhatu Tapoki is my name. I represent Paskarik and Karasabua. I'm from Katsina State.
The Honorable Minister, I'm Honorable Chief Emma Ogoro. I represent the good people of Abakaliki and the Z Federal Constituency. I'm from
this one. Chairman, Co-Chair, distinguished senators, my honorable colleagues, our invited guests, my name is Engineer Sagir Ibrahim Kogi, representing Kano Municipal. I'm from Kano.
My name is Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo. I speak for the people of the Demili North and South Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Co-Chairman, distinguished senators, respected colleagues, Minister of Works and State. My name is Ifeoluwa Babaji Endero, member representing Akoko North East, Akoko North West, Federal Constituency of the State.
Honorable Chairman, Co-Chair, Senate, honorable members and distinguished senators, our guests, my name is Honorable Architect Usman Murtala Banye, member representing people of Batagarawa, Cherenchiri Federal Constituency from Katsina State, and by the grace of God, I'm the Deputy Chairman of this committee.
Then we'll go to the Senate, please, starting from my leader there, Peter.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, Honorable Minister, my name is Senator Barrister Peter Onyekachi Nweboy, Deputy Whip of the Senate and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, co-chairman, dear colleagues, honorable members, the Minister of Works and his team. My name is Senator Professor Anthony Ane. I represent Ebonyi South. The minister is my constituent. Thank you.
Okay, can I have a next question?
My chairman, my colleagues and allies, partners, I salute you. I respect our honorable ministers here. He's my big brother. My name is Honorable High Chief Kenny Small Chukwu Gozie Nwachukwu. I am from Imo State, Nigeria, and I represent the great and awesome people of Olu, Osun, and Oru East Federal Constituency. That is where you have the Governor General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the most distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma Onwa. Thank you.
Go ahead, please.
The co-chairman, my distinguished colleagues, honorable members, the performing Minister of Works and Housing, and all their entourage.
House is not there.
House
is not there.
Okay. Don't disturb me. Warn him. My name is Senator Adenigba Fadansi, representing the good people of Osun State.
Co-chairman, distinguished colleagues, honorable members, honorable Minister of Works, and your team. My name is distinguished Senator Ikpeya. I represent the very good people of Edo Central District. I'm from Edo State.
I am Osita Izunaso, Senator representing Imo West.
My name is Senator Ezenwa Onyewuchi, and I represent Imo East Senatorial District of Imo State, member of the committee.
My name is Senator Emmanuel Nwachukwu. I represent the Anambra South Senatorial District. Honorable Minister, you're welcome.
Switch off now.
Ade Tokumbo Abiru. I represent Lagos East Senatorial District. Thank you.
Ojo Zokalo. I represent Abia North, Abia State.
Comrade Senator Adam Saliu Oshomole, I represent the people of Edo North in Edo State. Comrade Chairman, thank you for your joint leadership.
Senator Dicket Plank, Plateau Central. Thank you.
I am Mohammed Anji Mogoje, Gombe Central, Gombe State.
Mohammed Ali Ndume, representing Borno South.
And I'm Honorable Akin Alabi. I'm from Oyo State, representing Egbeda Onara Federal Constituency, the chairman of the House Committee on Works.
I am Senator Rufai Anga, representing Kano Central. I'm the vice chairman of the Committee of Works, acting for the chairman, by the grace of God, who is unavoidably absent. I'm also the deputy minority whip of the Senate from Konkosia side. Thank you very much.
My name is Senator Peter Gia. I represent Niger South Senatorial District from Niger State.
Any other one? Yeah, please. Yeah. Please. Senator Patrick.
Just talk.
Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar, Kwara North.
The chairman House Committee on Works, distinguished colleagues, my senators, and my colleagues from the House, the Honorable Minister, heads of agencies, esteemed stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you. I warmly welcome all to this 2026 budget defense session of the Joint Committee on Works. Let me appreciate the Honorable Minister and the Surveyors Council and the Council of Estate agents and all participating institutions for your presence and continued commitment to national development. This engagement forms part of the committee's constitutional responsibility to ensure that proposed expenditures are realistic, transparent, and aligned with the national priorities. Our focus today is clear: to review your budget proposals, assess performance, and ensure that allocated resources translate into measurable improvements in Nigeria's infrastructure development. The expectation of the Nigerians remains high, particularly in areas of road infrastructure, professional standards, and technical coordination. We therefore expect concise data-driven presentations that clearly outline priorities, implementation strategies, and value for money. The committee remains committed to constructive collaboration with both chambers of the National Assembly and all stakeholders as we collectively work towards delivering durable, safe, and sustainable infrastructure across the country. On this note, I formally declare this 2026 budget defense session open. Thank you. No. My leader, no clapping. My leader, no clapping. My leader, thank you. No clapping.
You can use this one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister and your team, welcome. I have a speech prepared, but I don't see any need to read any long speech now, especially when you consider that my Senate counterpart has already read a speech. So we all know why we're here. And I would like us to keep the focus of why we're here. The performance of 2025 budget and to present the ministry's estimates for 2026. I'm sure because this is Ministry of Works and it concerns everybody in every corner of the country, I'm sure there are 1,001 questions that we all have pertaining to our constituencies and other, even constituencies that are not ours. But because of time, we'll spend the whole day if we want to ask about every single road. So let it concentrate on 2025 performance and 2026 estimates. So we are going to open the floor for the ministry led by the Honorable Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, to give us his 2025 report, 2025 report on performance. Then we can decide to take questions before he gives us 2026, or we can decide to run down his 2025 analysis and projection for 2026 and then ask all the questions together. We can decide as we go along. So, Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Dear distinguished Works Chairman of the Senate and House of Representatives, dear distinguished senators who are members of Works Committee, dear right honorable members of the House of Representatives who are members of Works of the National Assembly, my brother, the Honorable Minister of Works States, our PAM Secretary, Senior Directors, SSA to Mr. President on community engagements that are with us, and all invited guests. Good afternoon to you. I have a prepared speech. I may speak also outside this prepared speech as we go ahead. So I wish to express the appreciation of the Federal Ministry of Works to the Joint Senate and House Committees on Works for this opportunity to present and defend the Ministry 2025 budget performance and 2026 budget proposal. The Ministry received the letter as referenced here, dated 9th of February 2026 from the committees on works, requesting for details and submission on issues pertaining to the performance of 2025 appropriation and 2026 budget proposal. We also like to explain and highlight some aspects of the submissions in the course of this budget defense. Overview of 2025 Appropriation Act for Federal Ministry of Works. A total of 2.2145 trillion was proposed for the Federal Ministry of Works and its parastatal, FEMA, for capital, personnel, and overhead estimates in 2025 appropriation bill. The breakdown of the proposal is as follows. The Ministry of Works, 2.037 trillions, and the FEMA, 130.676 billion naira. You have African Regional Institute for Geospatial Information Science and Technology, 510 million naira. So total for capital budget proposal for 2025 is 2.168639 trillions naira. Overhead budget is 1.857 billion for Ministry of Works, and for FEMA is 33.468 billion. And you see the total is 35.325 billion naira. Personnel cost is 5.635 billion naira for works, and for FEMA is 4.923981 billion naira. So total personnel cost is 10.559 billion naira. 2025 budget performance. The releases of capital expenditure for Federal Ministry of Works as at today is in the sum of 210.318 billion, as against 30%. If you're looking at 30% of 2025, that should be 784 billion. That's what 30% of the capital expenditure should stand at. But when you look at 210 billion, of course, majorly your constituency projects in the Ministry of Works, this 210 that was released, you find out that capital expenditure based on 2025 appropriation stands at 9.7%. The details of budget performance for capital expenditure releases are shown below. If you go to page 3 down, we had to report that the total amount owed contractors for works done and generated certificates between 2024 and 2025 is about 2.2 trillion naira. And I'm happy that Mr. President had directed a committee chaired by the Vice President to review all these debts of all the MDAs. And then let me announce that that committee is working, and a report will be presented to Mr. President, for action. I express my gratitude to Mr. President, who wasn't aware during one of our fake meetings that contractors are being owed this much. You can see in page 4 the details of our overhead, and the summary of it in the table as released, and the dates and months. In page 5, you will also see the personnel cost of 5.635 billion, which is being paid directly from the budget office. Let me say here that I'm not presenting the budget of FEMA. There is a National Assembly Committee on FEMA, and the Honorable Minister of Work State, who is in charge of FEMA, will do that with the FEMA committee. I'm going to read page 5, which is 2026 budget appraisals. In 2023, 29th of May, Mr. President inherited a total of 2,064 ongoing projects. And the cost of those ongoing projects was about 13 trillion naira. And that was before the floating of the naira and the removal of fuel subsidy. And so if you appraise the cost of building materials now compared to where we were before the fuel subsidy was removed, then you can imagine what the cost of such projects would be. But I thank the president, and I don't think any other president ever did that. When we came on board, he had to continue all the entire 2064 projects. That's the first thing Mr. President did, and I give him a deep appreciation for that. Any other president would have been more interested in, say, his own projects, but he didn't. He said we should continue that. So with the removal of fuel subsidy and floating of the naira, the cost of executing these projects increased tremendously. To respond to this situation, Federal Executive Council, in one of their meetings, directed prioritization, phasing, and rescoping of the projects, especially within the nation's major economic corridor throughout the 6 geopolitical zones. Our dear respected lawmakers of our nation, the 2026 capital budget proposal is 3.24456 trillion naira. And the details are contained here project by project, and are we explained. Of course, FEMA, just for noting, is 191 billion. You will see the proposal for 2026 overhead budget proposal, that's in page 6, and personnel cost also in page 6. By reading clause 6.0, we need to say that the Federal Ministry of Works total cost of ongoing projects as of December 2025 is about 16.9 trillion. You will see this at the end of this budget proposal, where we have the total cost of projects, but not cast on stone, because some of the projects have not been reviewed, to meet up with the realities of the present time. So, but 16.9 trillion. See details of the budget. And this excludes, Mr. President, legacy projects and the private tax credits of, private sector. Going forward in 2026 budget proposal for the Federal Ministry of Works, we have chosen a number of projects and allocated funds to ensure early completion of certain, phases. We need to say that it is impossible to do budget, proposal to cover, entire projects of costing 16.9 trillion. That will be very unrealistic. So we decided to go zone by zone, and we have chosen a number of projects, for completion based on phases, prioritization, and also rescoping. In page 7, clause 8, the President gave us graciously additional funds to the ongoing projects in 2026 proposal, and that stands at 797 billion, including contingency fund and counterpart funding, and is distributed as follows. Some people have been asking these questions, and this is the answer. You see the regional distribution, Southwest 160 billion, because there are critical projects in Lagos State, like the Third Mainland Bridge and the Kata Bridge. And that's why you see the distribution a little bit more by, 30, 40 billion. South-South 120 billion, Southeast 105 billion.2, Northwest 120. I hope the Southeast people will not query me, because have we even been getting any before? So we should be very happy that we are getting now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah, I want to ambush you before you complain. Yes. So Northwest is 120 billion. Northwest, we say they gave the highest votes. So we respect that. Thank you. And North Central, 105.2 billion, and Northeast, 105.2 billion. If you add 30 billion contingency fund, and you add 23.6 of, the project between Makurdi and 9 Mile, China Harbor, then you will get 797 billion. The 70% of 2025 budget carried over to 2026 budget stands at 1.687 trillion. The details are here. In this budget, you will see 100% 2025 appropriation. You see 30% by the reason of your supplementary budget, appropriation 2025. You can see the total amount, and then you see the 70% that was directed to be carried over to 2026 budget. And then the new project for 2026 budget stands at 760 billion. But let me explain. These new projects are not necessarily new projects. Over 90% of them are not new projects, as listed here. But another phase of the ongoing project, since the initial phase, in line with FEC directive, have reached advanced stages of completion. These projects were distributed as follows. What we're saying is that when we inherited 2,068 projects in 2023, costing 13 trillion then, which if you multiply by about 4, you can now know what it will cost. So we did prioritization, we did phasing, we did rescoping. And so based on that, we had to phase the projects. For example, the Abuja Lokoja, has about 7 contractors on the project. But because if we give a contractor, let's say you have a section of 100 kilometers, then you now do the cost. If the cost is, for example, 200 billion, you are entitled to pay him 30%, 60 billion. We don't have such money. So we now decided to do a forecasting of availability of funds, and then put down, level of probability, and then did phasing, so that the phases of the project will be completed and also be, commissioned. And so what you see here is a product of, rescoping, rephasing, and a prioritization for ongoing projects of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you see here, Southwest is 135 billion, again, because of Lagos bridges. South-South is 125 billion, Southeast 125 billion, Northwest 125 billion, North Central 125 billion, Northeast 125 billion, total 760 billion. Special projects, the legacy projects of the new Tobe administration. We have 4 legacy projects of Mr. President. You have the 750 kilometer of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. As of today, Section 1 will be completed and commissioned. 47.47 kilometer will be completed and commissioned by May 29, 2026. The Section 2 is 55 kilometer, is going from Lekki Deep Sea Port and stopping at the border between Lagos and Ogun, 55 kilometer. We promise that 50% of that project will be completed by May 29th, and that the entire project will be completed by the end of this year. Meaning that by the end of this year, if we engage our Victoria land, you'll be able to do 105 kilometer non-stop, by passing the Lekki Deep Sea Port, and in parallel to Dangote tax credit project of the Lekki Deep Sea Port, routes, sections 1 and 3. And we also have Section 3 and 3B, 65 kilometers, going on in Cross River State and going on in Akwa Ibom State. And so those projects, are ongoing uninterrupted, and the concrete pavement is also ongoing. And we are procuring the remaining section of 80 kilometers in Akwa Ibom. And so the remaining sections of the coastal highway will be, River State, which we have designed, passing through Ogoniland. And then we also have the Bayelsa section. Rivers section is about 50 kilometers. Bayelsa section is about 30 kilometers. And Delta section is about 80 kilometers. Edo section is about 100 kilometers. And that is joining the Ogun-Ondo section. And so that design of the entire section is ongoing. We have the second legacy project of Mr. President, the Sokoto-Badagry, 1,068 kilometers. We've already procured the 120 kilometer at the Sokoto axis from Ilela. Ilela? Yes. Yes. And the president is very particular about Ilela. Said they gave him the highest votes. And I said there was insecurity. They said, Dave, go there and flag off this project. And we had to obey the president. Of course, he provided all the security, and he has been providing security through the NSA and service chiefs. And so that project is ongoing, and over 50% of that project will be ready within the next 6 months. And we are hoping to complete that project by the end of the year. And we have the KB section, which is 258 kilometers, and of course by 6 lanes. And that project is ongoing, and we hope by the end of the year to have 50% of that project, completed. And these projects are with solar light, and they will put in also CCTV cameras. And then you have the third legacy project, which is starting from Cross River, going to Ebonyi. And from Ebonyi, it's going to Benue, from Benue to Kogi, Kogi to Nasarawa. And it's a total of 465 kilometers. The first 123 kilometers starting from Ebonyi is ongoing, and that's 456 billion. And that project is 3 lanes. Unlike the other 2 legacy projects, but it is important that we start with that. And of course, the 4th legacy project, and I thank Senator Ningi and Senator Goje for mentioning it in the Senate, which is the 4th legacy project of Mr. President, which is starting from Akwanga to Jos to Bauchi and to Gombe. Good to announce, as you rightly reported, that this project has been procured and awarded. And instead of doing it with what it was initially designed for, flexible pavement, the president says it should reflect other legacy projects of his administration, and that is on concrete. And so when I leave here, I'm going to meet with Mr. President, who had sent for me, and I'm looking for the mobilization of 30% so that the contractors can increase the pace of work. And so let me, report that these legacy projects are not mere road projects and bridges. They are investment projects. For example, this Section 1, we have about 4 South African companies that have been bidding for us to give them the road, and then they will give federal government the entire project cost. And let me also report that federal government is paying only 30% counterpart funding in Naira. The other 70% is a loan syndicate that is funded from outside and has very low, interest rate. There is none of the loan that is more than 6% interest, And so that has helped to stabilize our Naira. This legacy project is being done on reinforced concrete, has also enhanced a lot of job creation. It has also increased local content and has reduced importation of bitumen. And that's why these are all our contribution, Federal Ministry of Works, assisting Mr. President to stabilize the Naira. And we are very happy with that. Not only that, these projects, we are linking all the existing projects to these legacy projects, and this is very important. Let me also report that I saw in social media, when you say that, dog bite man, nobody cares, but when you say man bite dog, people care so much. And so we have a downpour in Lagos, climate change, and there was flooding. And let me explain that the result is because of the blockage of the channel. We have underground drainage channel, and people went to now dump refuse over there. We have since discovered that, and we have removed those But what I'm going to do when I inspect it on Saturday is to provide also drainage, surface drainage channels. But that will not solve the problem until we give out that project, on operate and maintain, so that the person will own it and then be able to put, security on the road to monitor and to watch. And so when people criticize the legacy project of Mr. President, I'm here to let them know that these are investment projects and it's paying off. Everyone in Lagos within VI and Ikoyi are enjoying the coastal road because we have temporarily opened it. And you can see that it's a microcosm of the macrocosm in terms of the catalyst, it will give to our economy. So let's have faith in what these legacy projects will bring to us. And if a man like Ningi is so excited, and a man like His Excellency, Governor Koje, we're very excited, it means there is something in it. And transmission is also very excited about it. My good friend.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
So thank you very much. An MPC funded tax.
Mr. Chairman, point
credits.
of order.
Okay. What order, please? Can you?
Order 15.
Order 15. Okay, go ahead.
It's getting to Medugri. Yes. It's getting to Medugri. We are talking to high tech.
We have a document circulated and it did not go around. We need to get this document so that we can be able to follow you.
Which one? This document?
Yes. Go and produce.
Okay. No, we are not going to produce. We have it.
You can't tell us what to do.
We have it already. I'm also a senator.
No, before.
You were.
I told you to stay. I told you to stay so that I will not come and question you.
As senator professor.
Can we have more copies to go around, please?
Yes, please take them all.
Take them. Exactly what I requested. This was what I requested from the IG last year. We have the same thing we requested now. I requested from IG, you didn't give me. Something like this. And our members were supporting him. Just give them. Give them there.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, can I conclude? Can I conclude? I just have 2 pages to conclude. Okay. Yes. My people say now somebody will know somebody they kill him. It's Ndume, my good friend, that we raise point of order. Yes. Now we are on page 8. Yes.
You have the floor, Honorable Minister.
NMPC funded tax credits. Page 8, clause 4B. NMPC, on the approval of Mr. President, has pulled out of the funding of this project. A total of 7 trillion naira will be needed to complete this project. Mr. President approved that Federal Ministry of Works do take over the execution of the project. It is important to note that continuation of this project is critical as they are essentially within the economic corridor of the nation. Example, all the projects on East-West Road, the project of Suleja Mina, and most projects in Taraba, Adamawa, and Niger State, they are all part of NMPC projects. Just to mention a few, they are all in an NMPC funded project. In page 9, I say it to be good for our lawmakers to encourage Mr. President to raise bonds and complete this project, which by the previous administration, Executive Order 7, which is still subsisting, is funded from Federation account. Whether it was right or wrong, our people need these roads. This is very important. Private sector tax credits. A number of companies are involved in this program from the previous administration. Companies like Dangote PLC, Bua PLC, MTN are all involved. By Mr. President directed, this program has stopped, but ongoing projects under this program shall be completed, but no new ones shall be initiated. Challenges. That's page 9, clause 12. The cash plan for capital projects. The method adopted by Federal Minister of Finance in funding capital projects of Federal Minister of Works is anti-progressive for the success of the ministry. In Federal Minister of Works, projects of over 95% are all ongoing projects. You can't ask a contractor who previously was paid advance payment and he has fund with him and the general conditions of contract, which is part of the agreement signed, has specified how this fund will be deducted from the contractor. You start deducting this fund when the contractor, has achieved, is it 30%? 30% on the progress. And you complete the deduction when he has achieved 80%. Now, if the contractor has the advance payment in his hand, and you ask him to stop working because of funding, the tendency is that here we have our money and the agreement signed, which is in line with the general condition of contract that regulates engineering, practice in Nigeria. It means that here we be holding our money and work will not be going. So that is not very good for the ministry. So you can't ask contractors that have APG fund of the ministry not to work. As they work, they generate certificates for work done and you have to pay them. But Federal Minister of Finance can direct Federal Minister of Works on the expected expenditure upon which each contractor shall not exceed. Mr. President was not aware that Federal Minister of Works capital expenditure performance for 2015 as at today is 9.7%. No nation can grow without addressing our critical infrastructure, especially roads and bridges. Let me emphasize that it is the GDP of this sector, roads and bridges, that grows the GDP of other sectors. There is no, argument about that. If you can't travel from Abuja to Lokoja, you can't do business. You cannot do education. You can't do medical. When a road is spoiled or bridges are broken, it amounts to imprisonment, because when you can't move, you are in prison. And it means that your freedom is being tampered with. And this is very important. Mr. President has shown so much commitment and support in addressing the national critical infrastructure, and I thank the National Assembly for their support to Mr. President. We have challenges, and the challenges we have is it will be good for the National Assembly to address, the long procurement process for Ministry of Works. There is a need to address long process of infrastructure procurement to shorten time while addressing value for money. Roads and bridges need dry season for effective activities. I have argued that the activities in Ministry of Works is like, activities, in any medical institution, hospital. When a road is broken or a bridge is broken, it's like somebody has, had an accident, God forbid, and is brought to, to a theater. It's an emergency. And so the process, cannot be the same. If you do not act quickly, then it is difficult for people to move. And when people will not move, then life may be lost. The protection of nation infrastructure. Our concrete works are destroyed by those who are harvesting roads. Refuse are dumped in our drainage channel, like what happened on our coastal route 2 days ago because of blockage of drainage channels, removal of electrical facilities on our road, harvesting of expansion joints on our bridges, and parking on our roads and bridges. The roads and bridges are not designed for static, loads. They are designed for dynamic, loads. And it's so sad to see, where big trucks, trailers are, parking on our bridges and our roads. Any legislation on these issues will be desirable. Appreciation. Let me thank God Almighty for His mercies. I thank my boss, Mr. President, for his support and trust, which has helped our ministry in moving our roads and bridges infrastructure forward. Let me, vow and say that, I can put, 90% of my time and efforts because of who Mr. President is, because the kind of support, because of the kind of commitment in the, road and the bridges infrastructure. I appreciate so deeply working with him, and he makes life very easy. He has never sent a contractor to us. He has never asked us to give this contract at this price. Every pricing is a product of Ministry of Works and BPP. And so I commend him very highly and appreciate him. And I want to say that we work with courage. We don't work with fear. And we report to God Almighty, to the people, and to Mr. President. And of course to you, our headmasters. I remain grateful to the Swiss Senate President, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, my two works chairmen of National Assembly, and the distinguished members of National Assembly Committees on Works. The entire Federal Ministry of Work team is grateful to you. Together we can. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that comprehensive. All the mics are off. Is there any microphone that is on? Okay, I guess very detailed presentation. I particularly noted the issue of challenges that the ministry and the staff will have to oversee and will have to be checking all the time because of what happened at the coastal road. You talked about it. I'm sure it's one of the questions my members will have loved to ask. So blocking the drainage caused that. And like you rightly said, we must find a way for long-lasting maintenance. With the private sector, tolling, whatever, still won't put too much toll on Nigerians. But I think it's something that's it's not enough to build these roads. The most important thing is for us to be able to enjoy it for decades to come. So what we're going to do right now, honorable members and distinguished senators are going to ask you questions. I'm sure they've been itchy to ask questions. So we're going to take about 3 from the House, about 3 from the Senate. If we have more time after that, we'll take more. So from the House, Honorable Stanley Olajide will take, Honorable Dati will take, and Honorable Inua will take. So
and from the Senate, Senator Oshumole, Comrade Oshumole, Yarube, and Senator Gojo.
So Honorable Stanley.
Thank you, Co-Chairman.
When there's time.
Thank you, Co-Chairman, for yielding the floor to me. I am from Oyo State.
Oshumole, Gojo, and Yarube.
But let me first of all draw your attention to the fact that we have a population of 242 million approximately in Nigeria. And if you compare that to South Africa, where we have only 65 million people, South Africa has 750,000 kilometers of roads. Nigeria today, we have 195,000 which means we are way behind where we are. My people hear 3-point-something trillion, it sounds like a lot of money. We're only talking about $2.3 trillion approximately. Which for me, it is peanuts when you're talking about expanding our economy. I want to say to the co-chairman, we need to try everything humanly possible. This kind of budget is not going to move us with prosperity. We need to grow our budget beyond this peanuts. I'm sorry if I'm calling it peanuts, but that's just my view. Secondly, please be very careful. Because the way we're being funded right now is every reason for the high number. So we have to be very mindful of that. And I feel for you, but you must be very worried. And lastly, in the late 70s, when the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road was commissioned, our founding fathers, they created that they had a weight bridge at midpoint at the beginning of the express road. And one of the reasons for those weight bridges is to control heavy traffic, heavy loads going on our highway. We're doing a good job on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. If we continue the way we are without the weight bridge, that road will not last 5 years. I want you to please look at how we are going to resuscitate these weight bridges so that way we can control the traffic.
Thank you, Honorable Stanley, for that contribution. Very, very eloquent. That's how we are in Oyo State. We are very, very eloquent. Honorable Dati.
Thank you, Chair. Is it by the populations of the region or by the population of the people that is a particular project or by the number of accidents that happen on that beach? Why I'm asking that, you know, or you are aware that Northwest was the populous region out of the system. Sadly, 40 and 120 billion. Why was it? So how do you identify or recognize this project critical or not? Is it by population?
Still watching Newsday here on Arise News. That was live coverage from the National Assembly in Abuja, where the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, addressed senators during the defense of the ministry's 2026 budget proposal, outlining key infrastructure priorities and responding to questions on funding allocations and ongoing federal road projects.